What's up guys, welcome back to the YouTube. It's been a while and it is the final session of this push-up. Very exciting stuff. So you just saw me do hinges, so that was the start, and I'm carrying like a tiny bit of an injury right now on my SI joint, so I was a bit cautious. 200 for just a safe, controlled, high rep set where I had complete ownership of the weight, so pretty happy with that. If anything, it's a good thing to kind of move into a diet, doing something which forces a little bit more control, to be honest. But yeah, push-ups come to the end. I am currently sat around 95 kilos. The last couple of weeks have not been fun. Unfortunately, I got like a stomach bug, so I was pretty unwell, hence the lack of YouTube. So I was out of training optimally for like a week. I still tried to get some sessions in here and there. They weren't ideal, and as a result, weight dropped a little bit. So it's been a case of regaining lost momentum as well, coming back into training now. And I think it's getting there. I think we'll be in a good spot to be honest for the diet next week. But yeah, obviously like it's not the best way to end the push-up, but these tiny differences in such a long push-up, it's not gonna make much difference. And also now it's not a case of forcing weight back on to just pull it off. If anything, we're in a better spot to diet and not have to pull off as much body weight so quick to get myself to that end body weight goal. But we'll save that discussion for when we start the pre-prep in terms of the goals of it. But yeah, this is the last session, so we're gonna have some fun. Big session, very big back session. Some hamstrings in it as well. Very important session for my physique. High volume, just on hinges, you know, it's a hard session. But yeah, I'll give you some good cues along the way about back training. And we'll also talk about kind of my experience of this push-up as well along the way. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're going on to the T-bar, and you'll notice when I do this set, if you've been watching my back training recently, any previous videos, that the form's going to be tidier on this. And something I'd really recommend to anyone that's about to enter a diet phase is to just think a bit more cautiously about your form, assess movements and think, do you think that you can retain that movement with body weight going downwards and stability getting worse? Do you think that execution is set up in a way to not rely on body weight? Because if it relies on body weight, then realistically holding it within a diet is going to be very difficult. So the things that I'd recommend to improve that is pausing in the stretch position, breaking up that change of direction, slowing down the eccentric before you go into that change of direction, just essentially just improve ownership of the weight and keep your body obviously quite still, move in the ways your body's meant to move, but only if that's going to aid the actual contraction as opposed to just trying to bring in momentum. If you rely on momentum, not good in a diet. And it's not good in the surface anyway, but you can get away with it a bit more because body weight's going up. So just something to think about if you're about to enter the diet. So I previously just spoke about the importance of stability when it's going down in your set, in the diet, just focusing on really just owning the weight. One thing that you should think about when you set up into these machines is where your points of contact. So what I mean by that is the more contact you have with the machine, the more benefit essentially you're going to get from the machine. You're going to get more stability from it. That's why machines are good. They provide external stability. So when I'm doing my T-bar row, I'm really making sure I'm like very into it as a setup. So I'm really thinking about that points of contact all the way down my body. I'm like, okay, I'm locked in. Similarly with my feet, I'm not like here with my toes like on the edge. I'm making sure I've got a firm position. I'm really locked in now, and that's just going to help you so much. If you just get into it really quickly and you're just kind of like not locked in and braced against it, you're not going to feel stable. So really important thing to think about, and just getting as locked in as I can. Whoa. So I love this like classic JP neutral grip pull down, which I haven't done for a long time, but if I'm honest, I think it's a great movement for hitting a lot more of your lats, like teres and lower lats at the same time. You get like a nice combination of the two. Elbows quite locked into the hip still. When in that stretch, it comes out a bit, and you can get a lot of upper lat. I think one thing that you need to learn about these movements is, I mean, I've seen it back in the day, people will do this movement and they're like this. And they're just so scared of moving their delt and their scap. You need some elevation of the scapula to get a bigger stretch of the lat. And through stretching your lat further, you also get more output, you get more leverage. So it's not just about more stretch, challenging yourself more. It's actually about allowing yourself to get more force from the movement. If you think about it, how much leverage you have here, not much. You're limited to the amount of lat you can use through that contraction. You come all the way up, I get so much more from there. And it's just about timing. So once you're in this position, avoid the scap moving first. Don't go like that. Elbow down, and then just bring this down slowly. You have to lead from your elbow first. It's so important. Because otherwise you're just going to get trapped. You're just like in that stretch position, which we don't want. So yeah, I thought I'd just talk about like looking back on this push-up. Do I think it's been productive? What are my takes on it compared to the first one? So this is the second push-up I'm about to finish within my off-season. So I would have done 2 push-ups since prep with a little diet in between, a 12-week diet in between each. Now, what I noticed with this second push-up was my ability to grow coming out of that diet was the best it's ever been, by a mile. And something is very clear, and it's when you couple being very sensitive to food, insensitive to food, combined with being in a strong hormonal position to grow, you will grow loads. And what that shows is the importance of when you do these clean-up diets, not bringing you down too far that you then need to recover from the diet. If it's not a prep, there's no point getting absolutely shredded. It's just going to ruin your ability to grow. Post-show, I did not grow anywhere near as much because it took me a good amount of time to hormonally feel like myself again. That's the case it is, unfortunately, for us naturals. You need to give yourself time. So this push-up, hands down the best one I've ever done, I think, from being in a better hormonal perspective. It just shows why a 2-year off season can be so effective for you. And another thing I noticed is, from an appetite perspective, it was good from the start for a while, but at the end it was actually a lot harder than my last push-up. And I think that's just simply down to, again, coming out of that diet in, a slightly better position, I guess, in terms of like hunger hormones not being skewed, not too high, like ghrelin and leptin and things like that, that therefore appetite went pretty low a little bit sooner than the last push-up where appetite stayed high for longer, if that makes sense. Granted, I've been a little bit busier this push-up with work and also being a single dad to Milo. I don't have enough time, unfortunately, to do cardio because I've got him in the flat. It's quite difficult compared to the last push-up where I did do more cardio. I think cardio is such an important thing for keeping yourself in a good position in your off-season. But yeah, it's been a good push-up and I'm very excited to diet from this position. It'll be interesting to see where we're at. I think right now, like, I'm at that body fat where it's a bit skewed and everything's starting to look a little bit worse. But it has a purpose. But yeah, 3 days, we begin the diet. Very exciting. So I swapped that movement, so I didn't swap that, I swapped in that movement for the single arm pull down. The reason being is because I'm doing it crossbody, and some people are skeptical, like, why do you do that? It's just because I want more stretch and I actually want to train more of the upper lats. So you get more in that position when you stretch across the body more. Now, the reason I've changed it is because this provides me, going back to that point I said previously, more points of contact in the machine. So I have a chest support and a seat, whereas the pull down, similar kind of plane I work in, obviously it's a little bit different. I'm still driving that elbow down, but the pull down, I'm basically just got way less points of contact. I'm literally just kind of, because I'm side on, I've got like my knee against the pad and that's it. So this allows for more stability, more retention in the diet, basically. Whoa. Final exercise of the day, hamstrings. So I'm basically running a rest pull set on this. It's going to take me like 5 minutes, that's it. 30-second rest between each set, in and out. It's a very smart way of just adding work on a muscle group without really making the session feel very, very long. So this is going to probably be the last time that I do this. The reality is your top-up work, your intensifiers, all your like smart things you want to do when you're trying to push on new tissue can go back down to baseline or out when you're just trying to retain tissue. Your focus when you're trying to retain tissue is straight sets really, bring volume down a little bit to preserve performance. So we might take this out and might just train back on its own next week and just have hamstrings within legs. And then that will probably see me recover well into legs every week. Because there will come a point where food's very low and I do this, and then I'm into the legs on Tuesday and potentially the hamstrings might be a little bit sore, especially when I've got hinges in the same session. So It's been enjoyable running this, so if you have a weak point and you want to bring it up, and you want to add it into a session, just a quick rest pull set in and out, you're done. So, final session of this push-up, this bulk is complete. It's probably the hottest, sweatiest session I'll probably have in a long time, because realistically, a pre-prep diet, I'll go back up to like 85, 86 kilos. Right now I'm 95 kilos. So the heaviest I'll be is 85, 86 kilos in the next year and a half, which is pretty crazy to think. So yeah, it was pretty tough. I'm sweating a lot at the moment just because I'm heavy and it's so hot and the gym has no AC. So yeah, good way to end it. But very happy with this push-up, very happy with where I took performance. And you know, like, I guess there were some things in my head maybe with performance I wanted to tick off that I didn't, but my form was so much better on those movements, and I wasn't as heavy as last time. Like, I went up to 97 kilos in my last push-up, so very different. So this is a much steadier push-up into a better position, so I'm happy with where I'm at, and I just can't wait now to diet. It's going to be good. I can't wait to see the work that I put in to these last 2 years. This is the first time I've ever had 2 years off. I've never done it before, and I've competed since I was 19. I'm 25 now, and I've only had, the longest I ever had before this off season was a year off. So it's been very productive. I'll definitely be doing this again. It tests me. I do miss the stage. It's hard. Sometimes I just want to get on stage again, but this is really what you need to do as an actual to truly level up your physique and just get into that biggest potential you can within that time period. So yeah, appreciate all the support as always. Thank you for watching the YouTube. If you have any questions, just let me know. Just drop me a message on Instagram if you want to inquire with the coaching. Just follow the link in my bio in my Instagram. You can drop me a message on WhatsApp, and yeah, we'll catch up very, very soon.